My name is Laurie Slade Funderburk, and I represent South Carolina House District 52, which is Kershaw County.
All right, and will you tell us a little bit about the area that you represent?
I'd love to. Kershaw County is a wonderful place. I was born and raised there. I graduated from Lugai-Felgen High School. My family has a timber and cattle farm north of Camden, and Camden is South Carolina's oldest inland city. It's also very rich in history, especially Revolutionary War history. Also, we're very famous for our horses. And but what's, just like any other district, Camden is very diverse, and Kershaw County is very diverse. We have some of the wealthiest people in South Carolina there. We also have poverty and a lot of need. And we have a lot of people who are very active in the issues of our state and community.
All right, well, first of all, what is your current profession? And if you could choose any profession outside of what you're doing now, what would you choose to do?
Well, I am a practicing attorney, but I have a very small practice. I mainly have been working with guardians ad litem in the family court. I also recently, with my husband, opened up a bookstore coffee shop in downtown Camden, and we're having good fun with that. If I were to do something different, I think I'd like to be some sort of economic developer. I really do like to see what's possible and then make it happen.
And why did you decide to run for office?
Well, believe me, I had never thought about running for the legislature. I had been very active in the community, a volunteer in many organizations, and when a seat became open, I was approached, and that was really the first time I'd ever thought about doing something like this.
All right, and what is your favorite part of South Carolina, excluding the district that you represent?
Well, there's so many wonderful parts about South Carolina, but I guess one of my favorite things is to go into any small town and see what makes it special.
Good, okay, and if you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
It'd have to be pragmatic.
Okay, and on a typical Saturday, where would we find you?
Well, my husband and I have two small boys, 7 and 3, and so what we typically do on a Saturday is there's some sort of ball practice, so you might find me out on the soccer field or the baseball field, or we also have story time every Saturday at the bookstore, and so you might actually find me reading a story.
Okay, and
but now this Saturday I'm going to be at the Carolina Cup.
Oh, there you go. And do you have any hidden talents?
That's a hard question for me. Hidden talents. I don't know. I do like to cook. I don't have much time for it, but I do like to cook.
All right. And what South Carolina political leader do you admire most? And it could be past or present.
Well, Dick Riley is a big hero of mine. He has done so much for this state, continues to do so much for this state and nation. We owe a lot to Dick Riley.
All right, and kind of along the same lines, if you could choose a historical person, it could be dead or alive, to have dinner with, who would it be?
Well, let's see, Einstein would be kind of interesting. Mark Twain would be kind of interesting. But I guess I'm really thinking maybe Warren Buffett. He's an interesting guy. I think that he could provide some insight that doesn't necessarily involve political motive. He's an entrepreneur, and just to see how one man can make such a huge difference in one lifetime.
All right, and why should voters support Democrats this November?
I think that the Democrats' values are those of South Carolinians, and I think that that under one-party rule, we have seen a lot of neglect of our infrastructure, neglect of our public schools, and also of the the health of the citizens of South Carolina. And I think that if we had more Democrats in leadership in South Carolina, that we would see some vast improvements in those areas.